Observatory was started by Sedgwick County, Wichita State University, USD 259, and the city of Wichita some 37 years ago. WSU and the school system both had classes. They took turns which nights they were open, and after a number of years, WSU decided that their payroll expenses that they had out here were better suited to be spent somewhere else. August 2015, they decided to close down. Realized that we could probably run the facility and we wouldn't have any payroll, so we didn't have to worry about that part of it.
The second night we were open was the day after big earthquake that hit in Oklahoma and really shook everybody up, one of the bigger ones that we felt around here. And when we came in, instead of the telescope being parked straight up like it normally is, it was leaning over this way a little bit, and it had no idea where it was anymore. And so we had to wait until it got dark enough so we could find a couple of stars to realign the computer. We'd had 2 hours of experience, running a professional observatory. All of a sudden, an earthquake has, moved the telescope clear off of where it's pointing at. One of the things that we're most proud of is we're incorporating amateurs and other telescopes who are behind the observatory on the pad that nobody really even knew existed.
I've come out before when WSU had it, and I wanted some other sun time, so I brought my son out and let him look through the telescope, and next weekend asked him what he wanted to do. He wanted to come back out here again.
It's an experience that you're not going to get anywhere else, to actually physically look through a telescope and see what's up there at that time is an experience you're not going to get. It's like somebody said, well, you can look at pictures of this stuff on the internet. Well, you can look at pictures of the Grand Canyon, or you can go to the Grand Canyon. Which would you rather do? The other thing you have here that you don't have other places is you have other people who are extremely interested in what it is we're trying to show. The enthusiasm that we have is kind of grows on you and gets the public more involved.
I just couldn't imagine losing this kind of a resource, letting something like this deteriorate. We think it's, of course, it's the only large domed covered telescope for hundreds of miles. It's open to public viewing. Most of the professional telescopes, for example, you can look at the telescope, but you can't look through it. It's also fun that we can vary the objects, and we can have a night where we're looking at special objects or any kind of special events.
We've also seen the space station go over. We've seen the space station go over, followed by the space shuttle when it was still operating. Numerous bolides, which are debris coming back in in the atmosphere. It burns up like a meteorite does. Unless you're looking up, you don't see it.
He had a small desktop
telescope.
Small aperture telescope, and he was. It was the very first time. He was a few years back, and he actually got a star cluster in there, and he was really excited about it.
It's Lagoon Nebula.
Yeah,
it's a nebula.
Yes.
Saturn is without a doubt one of the funnest things to look at, one of the most interesting, and it's the one where when you're watching people walk up to the telescope and they look through the eyepiece and all of a sudden their smile becomes about this wide, you know that that's a huge hit.
Just the interest in the stars and astronomy and everything, that is the dreams that bring up with the astronauts, with NASA, and with having people coming out and taking a look. That can inspire young ones, like my son, to want to work for NASA, be an astronaut.
Study the stars.
See the stars, and who knows what they might come up with in technology to help people in the future.